Welcome to our video on 10 surprising grocery items that will disappear before the start of April 2025. Have you noticed some of your favorite grocery items suddenly becoming harder to find? You're not alone. Around the world, supply chain issues, shifting consumer trends, and environmental challenges are causing certain products to vanish from store shelves. From pantry staples to specialty treats, the impact is being felt in ways we never expected. In this video, we'll take you through a list of 10 unexpected grocery items that may disappear by 2025 and explain why they're at risk. Whether it's due to climate change affecting crops, evolving manufacturing practices, or simply reduced demand, these products might soon become a thing of the past. Don't miss this chance to prepare yourself and possibly stock up while you still can. Stick around to find out if any of your must-have groceries are on the list. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on trends that could directly affect you and your family. Now, without further delay, let's jump into the top 10 surprising grocery items at risk of disappearing. 1. Vanilla extract. Vanilla extract is slipping through our fingers. It's no wonder we're staring down an impending shortage. The reasons are as clear as they are catastrophic. Madagascar, which produces more than 80% of the world's vanilla, has been battered by natural disasters and skyrocketing labor costs. Cyclones have ravaged the island's vanilla-growing regions, slashing production by an alarming 40%. On top of that, climate change has thrown off the delicate pollination patterns that make vanilla cultivation possible. It's not hyperbole to say the effects are devastating. The punch doesn't stop there. Even outside Madagascar's borders, supply chain chaos has amplified the vanilla crisis. Labor costs in the region have tripled, making this already painstakingly slow and labor-intensive agricultural process even more expensive. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, there's the domestic front. The United States lost 20% of its vanilla bean supply in a single blow when a warehouse fire in New Jersey obliterated stored inventory. It's a perfect storm of limited supply, reduced production, and relentless demand for a product that has become synonymous with baking essentials. The impact is already hitting home. Big names like McCormick and Nielsen Massey have had to impose purchase limits. Just one bottle per customer for many of their vanilla products. If you've noticed the price of pure vanilla extract creeping higher and higher every time you shop, you're not imagining things. This is just the beginning of vanilla's tumble into scarcity. What can you do? Stock up now if you stumble upon vanilla extract on sale. It's a rare opportunity. Otherwise, prepare to get creative. Alternatives like vanilla bean paste or a daring mix of maple syrup and bourbon aren't just novelties. They might soon be the only options left. The fact is, come April 2025, vanilla extract may no longer be the pantry staple we all take for granted. If you're not ready to make adjustments, you better be ready to risk bland desserts. 2. Coffee chaos. Coffee drinkers, prepare for some serious heartbreak. Brazil, which cranks out a whopping 40% of the world's coffee, is facing its worst drought in half a century. That alone is a disastrous hit to global coffee supplies. To put it bluntly, Arabica coffee production in the country has plummeted by 35%. For context, Arabica is the good stuff, the smooth bean behind most of your favorite brews. When a major chunk of it vaporizes overnight, there's no magical fix. And if the drought wasn't bad enough, global supply chain issues are taking the remaining beans hostage. Containers are in short supply. Shipping costs are through the roof, a 280% increase, if you can believe it. And coffee is piling up in Brazilian ports, unable to go anywhere. Imagine that, there's coffee, but it's stuck. Enjoy the irony as your morning cup gets pricier and harder to find. Brands haven't escaped this mess either. Lavazza has slashed its stock by up to 60%. Peet's Coffee scaled back production by 40%. Starbucks Reserve, their bougie high-end line, is practically non-existent right now. The fancy artisanal beans you've come to love? Say goodbye or be prepared to pay premium prices for the dwindling options. But wait, you were hoping things might bounce back by 2025? Guess again. Weather patterns don't resolve overnight, containers won't suddenly become abundant, and the fine coffee you sip won't miraculously reappear. Shortages are here for the long haul. Practical coffee survival tips. Here's what you need to do, and do it fast. First, check the roast dates on your coffee bags. Old beans don't just taste stale, they kill the entire coffee drinking experience. Always go for the freshest batch possible. Next, stock up on your favorite beans, but don't just hoard them blindly. Store them the right way, in airtight containers away from heat and light, or you'll be stuck with rotten goods. Want to feel smug while the rest of the world freaks out? Buy smart and protect your stash. 3. The organic egg disaster. Now let's move on to organic eggs, which are crashing out of stores faster than you can say sunny side up. There's a perfect storm of problems hitting the market. Extreme cold weather has wreaked havoc on egg production by, quite literally, freezing hens out of their natural rhythms. Hens can't lay eggs if they're too cold, and don't expect them to bounce back at the snap of a finger. On top of that, organic feed costs have gone through the roof, jumping 45% thanks to crop failures. It's the domino effect in action. Crop damage means pricier feed, which means fewer eggs at higher costs. The result? A 70% drop in organic egg deliveries in some stores. That's not a small slice. That's practically a wipeout. Speaking of costs, buckle up. Egg prices are projected to hit $8.99 per dozen. That's not a typo. Nearly $9 for what's supposed to be an everyday kitchen staple. Organic eggs used to be an easy choice for people who wanted healthier, more sustainable options. Well, good luck sticking to those ideals when your grocery bill doubles. And do you know what the best part is? All these shortages mean even those $9 eggs will be hard to find. The inevitable endgame here is simple yet brutal. Organic eggs are becoming a niche luxury item, no longer a widely available choice. This trend? Oh, it's going to stick around. Here's the forecast for anyone holding out hope for improvement by 2025. You're dreaming. These issues don't magically fix themselves when the entire supply chain is under pressure. Savvy egg strategies. Here's how you can manage this madness. First, think ahead and freeze beaten eggs in ice cube trays. This extends their shelf life significantly, and you can thaw and cook them as needed. If organic isn't do or die for you, consider free-range eggs. They're not exactly cheap, but they'll save you from spending a fortune on dwindling organic options. Adapt or go without. That's your choice. 4. Hot sauce shortage alert. Are you ready to say goodbye to your favorite bottle of hot sauce? Because at the rate things are going, that's where we're headed. Thanks to some brutal weather conditions and production bottlenecks, hot sauce supplies are taking a massive hit. First, Mexico, the key source for many chili peppers used in hot sauce, is in serious trouble. Extreme heat waves, brought on by worsening climate conditions, have destroyed 34% of its chili pepper harvest. Without those peppers, there's no pumping out the spicy goodness we all take for granted. And as if that wasn't enough, there's also a critical shortage of glass bottles. Yes, the actual containers to package hot sauce are also in limited supply. It's like a cruel, compounding joke. When you've got fewer peppers and fewer bottles, what do you think happens to brands? They cut back production. Valentina Tapatio Texas Pete, all scaling down. And Sriracha? If you've been hunting for a full bottle of the iconic green cap stuff, you already know the struggle is real. This problem isn't new for Sriracha. But instead of getting better, it's only spiraling into a full-blown crisis. If you think you're immune because you can just grab your hot sauce from a chain supermarket whenever you feel like it, think again. Shelves are already emptying faster than usual, and remaining stock isn't going to get any cheaper. Once demand overwhelms supply, brace yourself for the sticker shock. Survival tips for hot sauce lovers. If you're still clinging to the hope of savoring your favorite condiments while this shortage drags on, here's how to get by. First, don't rely entirely on big box stores. Check out smaller local grocers and specialty markets, which might have better options tucked away. When you do find what you're looking for, stock up but keep it respectful. Hoarding beyond what you can actually use will just exacerbate the problem. And it's a sure way to end up with stale bottles you'll regret buying. If you're really feeling ambitious, you might want to take a shot at making your own hot sauce. It's not as complicated as it sounds. All you really need are fresh chilies, vinegar, and a few spices to whip up a basic homemade version. Sure, it won't taste exactly like your beloved Sriracha or Valentina, but desperate times call for spicy measures. 5. Frozen vegetables crisis. Think frozen vegetables will save your meal prep routine? Wrong. You're about to become way too familiar with empty freezer sections because the chaos in the frozen veggie world is real. A combination of natural disasters and logistical train wrecks has thrown production into disarray, and there's no quick fix in sight. Here's the situation on the ground. Nebraska and Iowa, two of the country's major agricultural hubs, have been hammered by frost damage. This wiped out 40% of crops essential for frozen goods like broccoli and cauliflower. Meanwhile, California has had its own nightmare. Catastrophic floods drowned out entire green bean harvests. These aren't minor hiccups in the system. These are devastating blows to the supply chain of some of the simplest dinner staples. Now, even the veggies that somehow survive the wrath of Mother Nature are running into another wall. Processing delays. Facilities that pack and distribute frozen vegetables are facing serious equipment upgrades and delays. This combo of vanishing crops and operational stagnation has doubled the price of frozen vegetables in certain places. And good luck holding your breath for those costs to drop anytime soon. What you can do. Want to keep frozen veggies in the mix without paying an arm and a leg? You'll need to get strategic. Start by buying fresh vegetables and freezing them yourself. It's not glamorous, but it's effective. Pick up some freezer bags, chop up your favorite produce, broccoli, carrots, green beans, you name it, and stash it away. It won't have the exact same texture as store-bought frozen veggies, but at least you'll still have something to work with when the freezer aisle looks like a ghost town. If you're lucky enough to spot frozen vegetables during your next grocery run, don't wait. Grab what you need, but like with hot sauce, don't go overboard. Hoarding drives up demand artificially and hurts everyone in the long run. Be responsible, because the scarcity is running deep and it's not ending tomorrow. 6. Baby formula. If you're a parent, brace yourself. Baby formula shortages are already a problem, and it's only going to get worse as 2025 approaches. Key producers like Abbott Nutrition are halting operations at critical facilities to implement upgrades, unnecessarily dragging out production timelines. Meanwhile, the FDA is tightening its grip on import regulations for foreign brands, further strangling an already constrained supply chain. These bureaucratic roadblocks are leaving parents scrambling for options, as specialty formulas like Similac Alimentum and Enfamil Gentilis begin to vanish from store shelves. The forecast couldn't be more bleak. Specialty formulas, which are crucial for babies with specific dietary needs or allergies, are disappearing faster than they can be replaced. This is not an issue of convenience. It's a question of necessity. And families that rely on these products are finding themselves in desperate situations. With shelves emptying out and no clear end in sight, the pressure on parents is mounting. If your baby needs a specific formula, relying on big box retailers like Walmart or Target just won't cut it anymore. They're the first to run out of stock. You'll need to think outside the box. Independent pharmacies may still have supplies for now, though that could change at any moment. Another lifeline lies with your pediatrician. Contact them for formula samples, or to see if you can be placed on any priority distribution lists. These solutions, however, won't meet demand in the long run. The reality is grim, and parents need to start preparing now. Unless regulators and manufacturers dramatically change tactics, baby formula is set to become one of the hardest to find items of 2025. For parents and caregivers, this is a nightmare scenario. The clock is ticking. Stock up if you can, search for local alternatives, or prepare for potential substitutions under the guidance of a healthcare professional. Unfortunately, this isn't just a passing inconvenience. It's a symptom of a larger systemic issue in food and product supply chains. For families needing baby formula, being proactive is no longer optional. It's essential. 7. Premium chocolate. If you're a chocolate lover, prepare yourself. Premium chocolate is headed for extinction, at least as we know it. The world is facing the worst cocoa bean shortage in 40 years, and it's no small crisis. Cocoa prices have skyrocketed by an absurd 137%, driven by worker shortages and poor growing conditions in West Africa, where the majority of the world's cocoa originates. Simply put, there's not enough cocoa and there's no quick fix. Major brands like Lindt and Godiva are slashing production by a massive 40% just to cope, limiting the availability of high-quality chocolate. Meanwhile, household names like Hershey's and Mars are scrambling to adapt by quietly reformulating their products with less cocoa, and by extension, less of what makes chocolate taste good. These once premium treats will soon be nothing more than sugar-laden imitations of the real thing. Don't think the issue stops at dark chocolate or luxury brands either. White chocolate is also in trouble, given it's made primarily from cocoa butter, which is subject to the same supply issues. Across the board, the supplies of anything remotely resembling premium chocolate are imploding, and consumers are already starting to feel the impact of shrinking bar sizes and skyrocketing prices. The reality is harsh, but there are ways to prepare. If you're passionate about your chocolate and don't want to settle for bland knockoffs, act now. Stock up on premium chocolate bars with at least 60% cocoa content. They'll retain their quality for years if stored correctly. Avoid white chocolate altogether. It's an even riskier bet in terms of supply. The bottom line? Don't wait. The shelves won't stay stocked forever, and prices are only going to climb as demand continues to outstrip supply. By April 2025, premium chocolate may well become a luxury reserved for the ultra-rich, and for the average consumer, it could be gone entirely. If you want to savor the true richness of chocolate while you still can, the time to act is now. Trust us, future you will thank you for it. 8. Greek yogurt. Say goodbye to your favorite creamy, protein-packed snack. Greek yogurt is swiftly becoming another victim of supply chain chaos. Dairy farmers are slammed with skyrocketing feed costs, surging by 43% in recent years, making milk production more expensive than ever. Combine that with nationwide shortages of food-grade plastic, and I eat's a recipe for disaster. The plastic crisis means fewer containers can even be manufactured, further throttling supply. The result? Shelves that were once stocked with your go-to breakfast or post-workout fuel are now looking depressingly barren. This production nightmare is hammering big names like Chobani and Fege, two brands practically synonymous with Greek yogurt. They've been forced to reduce their operations to a meager 40% capacity. Gone are the days when you had your pick of flavors and sizes. Larger containers were the first to get the axe. What's left is a shrinking pool of products that are unlikely to meet demand, especially as consumers scramble to hoard what's available. For those of you who can't go a day without Greek yogurt in your smoothie or on your granola, you're in for a rough ride. Finding alternatives is now essential. Icelandic Skyr might do the trick as it offers a similar texture and protein profile, but it's a matter of time before it faces similar challenges. Protein-enriched regular yogurt, or even good old-fashioned cottage cheese might serve as replacement options, but don't expect them to fully satisfy that Greek yogurt craving. The bottom line? If you see Greek yogurt on the shelves, grab it before someone else does. Stock up while you can, because the days of it being readily available are numbered. Once it's gone, it's unclear when or if it'll stage a comeback. Greek yogurt isn't just a victim of consumer trends. It's another casualty of rising costs and supply chain disruptions that show no signs of letting up. If you're a die-hard Greek yogurt fan, it's time to brace yourself. This disappearing act isn't stopping anytime soon. 9. Breakfast cereals. Breakfast cereals are quickly becoming a luxury item due to unprecedented grain shortages. Wheat production has plummeted by a staggering 34%, the lowest it's been since 2002. While global corn and rice crops are also being hammered by relentless extreme weather events. The result? Your go-to morning staple is vanishing from grocery shelves. Big players in the cereal game, like General Mills and Kellogg's, are feeling the pressure and scaling back production. This means you can start saying goodbye to beloved classics such as Frosted Flakes, Honey Bunches of Oats, and Special K protein varieties. It's not just the fancy niche options. Even the universally loved everyday cereals are seeing drastic cuts. Worse yet, store-brand cereals, which many people turn to as cost-effective alternatives, are not immune. They're facing the exact same grain shortage issues, so don't think you'll just switch brands to avoid this problem. If cereal is an indispensable part of your morning routine, you need to take action now. Stock up while you can. Keep in mind that cereals generally stay good for 6 to 8 months if stored properly. This is your chance to squirrel away your favorites before the looming scarcity takes hold completely. The bottom line is grim for cereal lovers. Weather conditions aren't improving anytime soon, and with the supply chain as brittle as it is, production isn't bouncing back anytime soon either. It's time to make peace with the fact that your pantry won't always have that comforting box of cereal on hand. Whether you're a lifelong fan of Lucky Charms or you swear by a healthy bowl of bran flakes, don't assume these items will remain a staple in your grocery cart. Stock up or start looking for breakfast alternatives now. Because by April 2025, cereals will be well on their way to becoming a memory. 10. Fresh berries will be scarce soon. If fresh berries are a staple in your diet, you need to brace yourself. By April 2025, getting your hands on raspberries, strawberries, or blueberries might be more like winning the lottery. Why? Because Mother Nature and logistical nightmares are teaming up to push these juicy fruits off store shelves. Start with climate disasters. California, one of the nation's berry strongholds, lost a shocking 40% of its crop due to harsh frosts. Meanwhile, Florida wasn't spared. The state's early berry blooms were entirely ruined by a sudden cold snap, slashing production by 60%. This kind of unpredictable weather isn't just a bad year. It's becoming the norm, and berries are getting caught in the crossfire. But even if farmers somehow manage to grow enough berries, good luck getting them shipped affordably. New emission regulations are piling on costs for transportation companies, and skyrocketing fuel prices are making the problem even worse. Every mile a berry travels is now more expensive than before, and you know that price increase will hit your wallet when and if they show up in your local grocery store. What can you do about it? Adapt. Frozen berries might be your saving grace. Not only are they often cheaper, but they can actually be more nutritious than their fresh counterparts since they're frozen at peak ripeness. Alternatively, start looking for imported options like Chilean blueberries or early Mexican berries to fill the gap. They may cost a bit more, but at least they'll still be available when American-grown berries disappear. Bottom line, don't expect to stroll into the produce aisle for your usual pint of fresh berries without some serious sticker shock or outright disappointment. The combination of crop destruction and logistical headaches means fresh berries are teetering on the edge of extinction, at least temporarily. It might be time to find a new fruit crush before reality sinks in.